The science of gut health and why it matters. Did you know that the health of your gut can affect everything from your strength to your mood? What effect do the trillions of germs in your digestive system have on your health as a whole? What can you do to keep them in balance? We'll talk about the interesting science behind gut health, explain why it's so important for your body and mind, and give you easy ways to make it better. The digestive tract is an exceedingly complex organ whose primary purpose is to break down the food that we consume in order to facilitate the internal absorption of the nutrients that are necessary for our body to function properly. It is made up of a number of different regions and procedures, ranging from the mechanical breakdown of food, such as chewing and muscular contraction, to the chemical digestion of foods, which includes digestive enzymes breaking down the fat, protein, and carbs that we consume into a form that our body can then absorb. The mouth and the stomach are the first places where the breakdown takes place, and the small intestine is the primary location where the absorption takes place. Once the meal has passed through the small intestine and the body has extracted the maximum amount of nutrients that it is capable of, it will then enter the big intestine, which is where the body will perform further physiological activities during the process. Fermentation from the microbiota is the primary process that takes place in this environment. In terms of a person's overall health, how significant is the health of their gut? Diseases like irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, and inflammatory bowel disease are examples of illnesses that can have an impact on the health of the digestive tract. The findings of study and the comments of patients have shown that this has a substantial influence on a person's mental health, as well as their quality of life and the activities they engage in on a daily basis. We know that the microbiome can influence not just the health of the gut and the operation of the gut, but it can also influence the way in which other organs in our body work. On the other hand, there is something that we refer to as the gut-brain axis, which is the communication that occurs between the gut and the brain. Through the gut microbiome, we are aware that a microbiome can have an effect on brain function and mental health. This is something that we have observed in both animal research and human investigations. Consequently, the importance of gut health can be attributed to a wide variety of factors. For optimal gut health, what is the most effective diet? At the outset, it is essential to have a clear understanding that there is no single diet. Although everyone eats in a completely different manner, even people who live in the same house eat in a different manner to one another, we ought to really embrace the diversity that exists in our eating habits. When you are considering the health of your digestive tract, it is not for me to tell you all the specific foods that you should consume for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is more about going over the fundamentals of what you ought to incorporate into your diet and figuring out how you may accomplish it in a manner that is unique to you. You are the one who makes the decisions. We recommend consuming a lot of fiber in order to be healthy for the intestines. On average, we consume between 18 and 22 grams of fiber per day, which is significantly less than the 30 grams of fiber that we recommend adults consume on a daily basis. As a result, we need to boost the amount of fiber that we consume. As a result of the work that we have done in our department, we are aware that it is not enough to simply consume 30 grams of fiber on a daily basis. Rather, it is necessary to consume a variety of fibers. Consequently, it is essential to ensure that you are consuming a variety of fibers from a variety of sources, including fruits, vegetables, cereals, nuts, seeds, and other foods that are higher in fiber content. It's common knowledge that diversity is essential. Even if you consume a lot of fruits and vegetables and make sure you get your 5 a day, it is essential that you alter up the nutrients that you consume. Therefore, regardless of the amount of fiber that a certain meal may contain, you should make sure that you are not eating the same meal every day. This is because different foods include different nutrients that are essential for the digestive tract. Where should folks steer clear of? The media devotes a lot of attention to discussing ultra-processed foods, UPF, and the potential risks that these foods provide to our health, particularly with regard to the health of our gut in particular. However, it is essential for scientists to assist the general public in distinguishing between observational studies and intervention studies. Nearly all of the studies that have been conducted on UPF are observational, meaning that we observe what people eat over a period of several years and then determine whether or not they develop any diseases. It is not that ultra-processed meals are the cause of poor gut health. Rather, it demonstrates that there is a connection between the two. We require intervention studies in order to be able to determine the true source of UPF, as well as its impacts on health and disease. Things like ready-made meals, breads from the store, crisps, dairy desserts, and anything else that contains food additives are examples of what we mean when we talk about UPF. Nevertheless, there are several peculiarities in the way that UPF are defined. Whole grain bread from the store, fruit juices that have been fortified with vitamins, and plant milks are all examples of products that are considered to be ultra-processed but can be beneficial to our diet. To clarify, I am not in any way attempting to imply that UPF are beneficial to us. Nevertheless, I would rather concentrate on the positive effects that altering your diet can have on your health rather than vilifying certain foods. It is my hope that people would be encouraged to purchase healthy foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as to prepare a variety of meals and to cook from scratch. It seems to me that this is a more constructive approach to attempting to analyze the argument around ultra-processed foods rather than demonizing them. How can one tell if their digestive tract is unhealthy? The first and most evident one is if a person is experiencing symptoms related to their digestive tract, such as stomach pain that is both regular and odd and bloating. It's possible that this is a hint that there is something going on that warrants more investigation. Alterations in the frequency of your bowel movements, whether they are more frequent or less frequent, or alterations in the consistency of your bowel movements, whether they are more difficult or less difficult, may also be indicators of changes in your gut health. As we discuss alterations in the frequency of bowel movements or the consistency of stools, it is essential to point out that these changes can occur in gut that is in good condition, and it is not necessarily an indication that there is something potentially dangerous going on. Although they can occur on a random basis, it is more likely that it is a chronic change that warrants consideration at this point. What is a simple, fast way to improve intestinal health? It can be challenging to purchase the specialized items available on the market for your gut health, given the current financial crisis and the struggles some people face in eating healthfully. But generally speaking, you don't need to. For your gut, there are several inexpensive and simple fast wins available. An additional 7 grams of fiber per day was linked to a 7% to 9% lower risk of diabetes, colon cancer, and heart disease, according to a sizable meta-analysis of observational research on the topic. There are a few incredibly simple, affordable, and quick ways to increase your daily intake of 7 grams of fiber. For instance, half a tin of baked beans and a baked jacket potato with broccoli will each provide you with an additional 7 grams of fiber. Since most people eat 2 or 3 snacks a day, snacks are an excellent way to increase your intake of fiber. Eating a diversity of nuts and seeds allows us to include a range of various fibers and other nutrients in our diet. Beyond its effects in the digestive system, increasing fiber offers other advantages. A particular kind of fiber found in oats called B-glucan has been shown to offer major advantages for the cardiovascular system, including reducing plasma cholesterol levels. Having oats for breakfast is a great way to start the day with a diverse range of cereals and grains that can be healthy in many ways. Increasing the amount of pulses and legumes consumed is another advantage of varying the sources of fiber and carbs. They're an excellent source of protein, slow digestible carbs, and fiber. Maintaining blood glucose levels within acceptable normal ranges requires this. It's all about the structure here. Thus, the fiber is found in the cell walls and in pulses. According to our research, this creates a natural capsule that alters the pace at which nutrients are absorbed. Additionally, the nutrients are highly fermentable in the large intestine and contribute to our feeling of fullness. They are a great way to get dietary fiber. If you enjoyed learning about gut health and want more science-backed tips for better living, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos.